Hey everyone, if you're looking for the best budget laptop under $400, you've come to the right place. Whether you need something for work, school, or just everyday use, I've ranked the top 5 laptops in this price range from worst to best. We're talking about performance, display quality, storage, and overall value. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which laptop is right for you. And trust me, you'll want to stick around for number 1 because it's by far the best deal in this category. Alright, let's get into it. Coming in at number 5 is the Dell Inspiron 3535. Now I know Dell makes some solid laptops, but this one just falls a little short compared to the competition. It's got an AMD Ryzen 5 7520U, 8GB of RAM, and a 512GB SSD, which are all decent specs for this price range. The build quality is sturdy and the keyboard feels comfortable to type on. But here's the issue. The display is pretty dim, only reaching 220 nits of brightness. If you're working indoors it's fine, but take it outside and you'll be squinting. Plus, Wi-Fi 5 is a bit outdated, meaning you won't get the fastest wireless speeds. And unlike most budget laptops today, there's no USB-C port, which limits connectivity. So who is this laptop for? If you're a casual user who just needs a basic machine for web browsing, watching videos, or handling documents, it'll get the job done. But for the price, there are better options ahead. So let's move on. Next up at number 4, we have the ASUS Vivobook Go 15.6. This one is pretty similar to the Dell Inspiron, but it makes some small but important improvements. You'll get the same Ryzen 5 7520U processor, 8GB of RAM, and 512GB SSD, but this time with LPDDR5 memory, which is faster than DDR4. Another plus is the slightly brighter display at 250 nits. It's still not amazing, but it's definitely a step up from the Dell. It also has USB-C, which makes charging and connecting accessories more convenient. But like the Dell, it still runs on Wi-Fi 5, meaning you're not getting the best wireless speeds. And while 8GB of RAM is okay for basic use, it might struggle with heavy multitasking. So who should buy this? If you like the slim, lightweight design and want a decent screen, it's not a bad option. But if you need better performance or a more future-proof machine, keep watching, because the next laptops offer a lot more value. Now we're getting into the better choices, and at number 3, we have the Lenovo IdeaPad 1. Right away, it stands out because of its Ryzen 5 5500U processor. Unlike the previous two, this is a 6-core CPU, which means better multitasking and overall performance. Another upgrade is Wi-Fi 6, which means faster internet speeds and better connectivity overall. The display is good but not great. It doesn't have the brightest screen, but it's better than the Dell and ASUS models. What holds it back from being top tier? Well, despite the faster processor, it still only has 8GB of RAM, which means if you're doing a lot of multitasking, you might run into slowdowns. But overall, for the price, it's a very solid choice for students, office work, and general productivity. Now let's move on to the top 2. This is where things get really good. At number 2, we have the HP 255 G10. And this is where things start getting really impressive. It has a Ryzen 3 7330U, which is a weaker processor than the Lenovo, but here's why it ranks higher. It comes with 16GB of RAM and a massive 1TB SSD. If storage is your main concern, this blows everything else away. While other laptops in this range only give you 512GB, here you're getting double that. Plus 16GB of RAM means smoother multitasking even with multiple apps running at once. The only real downside is the processor. It's not as powerful as the Ryzen 5 or 7 models, so if you need raw performance, you might be better off with another pick. But for anyone who prioritizes storage and RAM, this is an amazing deal. And now let's talk about the best laptop under $400. Taking the top spot as the best budget laptop under $400 is the Acer Aspire 3, and here's why. It has a Ryzen 5 5700U processor, which is by far the most powerful CPU on this list. Add 16 gigs of RAM and Wi-Fi 6 and you've got a fast, efficient laptop that's perfect for work, school, or even some light gaming. The only downside, the screen brightness isn't the best, but given the performance you're getting, that's a small trade-off. If you want the best performance for your money, this is the laptop to get. And there you have it, the best laptops under $400, ranked from worst to best. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more reviews, and check out the links in the description to grab the best deals on these laptops. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Before we wrap up, just a quick reminder. If you're still undecided or need further details, check out the product links in the description below. Each of these laptops offers something unique, but it all comes down to what's most important for you, whether it's performance, storage, or connectivity. And hey, if you have any questions or thoughts on these laptops, leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you and help out. If you want to stay up to date with more reviews and buying guides, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Thanks again for watching. Let's make the best tech choices together.